Yes. Oh, hi there. So our next interview today is the guy behind the best pizza place in Iowa, Joey Pagliai. Stick around. You were born in Grinnell, right?
No.
No.
No, I'm
Where
not.
were you born?
I was born in Iowa City.
Okay, how did you end up in Grinnell? Like, let's start with the story of kind of how you ended up here.
Yeah. My parents, I was born in Iowa City, and then my parents had the opportunity to buy this restaurant off of my great uncle, Sam, him and my grandpa founded Pagliai's. So, yeah, they had the opportunity to buy it, so they did, and we moved here in '89, and I was born in '85, so
you're about 4 years old.
Yeah, and I was actually like 3.5-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember we actually lived in West Branch, which is it's like where Herbert Hoover was born, the president. So I remember living there a little bit, and like I used to spend a lot of time at my grandma's too, who lives in Iowa City. So I remember that a little bit, but pretty much just remember Grinnell.
Okay, so what was it like growing up in Grinnell?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, there was definitely times where you'd want to scoot out of town and like get with your friends and go other places and stuff. But shoot, you could ride your bike anywhere. I mean, that's the whole beauty of living in Grinnell is I can get anywhere. I mean, like going to Walmart is like it's hard for me because it's so far, but it's not far. It's not far at all. But I couldn't live in a big city. There's no way.
Okay, so you would choose Grinnell or like a small town like Grinnell.
Oh, absolutely. And Grinnell too. Look at all the diversity in Grinnell. I mean, you have the college, you have farmers, you have one spectrum to the other.
Do you see a lot of diversity within the restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a ton of college people come in, ton of like town type people. All over the spectrum. So.
Do you think there's like a dynamic, like does it change like from table to table, or is it all just people who want pizza?
I think it's all people who want pizza, really. I mean, there's not many people who don't like pizza. I always give people a hard time. It's like, yeah, I don't really like pizza. That's probably why you don't see me in there. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like how do you not like? Who doesn't like pizza? But there are some people with like dietary restrictions, so they like with the tomato sauce and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we offer so much other stuff though. It's like sandwiches and pasta and stuff. So,
do you guys think your menu like kind of caters to the diversity of like dietary issues or restraints or restrictions or preferences?
We have a lot of vegans kind of get mad at us because we don't have vegan options, which I mean, that's hard. That's a tough one.
Yeah, vegan is very difficult.
Yeah, and I feel I feel for them. I mean that is a choice, but for other people with dietary restrictions, like I feel sorry for them. I mean, that would suck not to eat cheese or dairy. I mean, and that'd be hard. So
okay. So let's talk about what was it like growing up with your parents owning this restaurant?
It was fun. I can remember them, working a lot, right in the beginning and stuff. And then once I got a little bit older, I think they got a little more established and could calm down a little bit and be home more. But I mean, ever since pretty much I was in the height of a grasshopper, I've been running around up here and playing hide and seek and having little hiding spots and forts, I can remember when riding my bike or walking over to Videoland that used to be like where Gamers was, and now they're putting in that Hair of the Dog place.
Right.
So I remember going to Videoland when it was over there and getting movies, and then we'd me and my brother would watch them in the office. Like my mom had a little VCR set up, and So it's kind of like before tablets and stuff. Yeah, now kids just have tablets or get on a cell phone or something. So we went and rented movies all the time. Went to Cunningham Drug all the time. I can remember Dave Hamilton came in. I don't know if you knew Dave. He was he had an insurance agency. It'd be like Bob Hamilton's dad. Okay, so he like knew everyone, was like the biggest Hawkeye fan ever. Not only just knew everyone in town, but knew like everyone in Iowa, I swear to God. But anyway, so he came in one morning, and I don't know what I was doing, probably just running around with my head cut off, goofing around as a kid, and he says, "Hey, do you want to go have a Candyland?" And I said, "A Candyland? Like, what the hell are you talking about?" And he says, he just looked over at my dad, and he goes, "You have never taken this kid to go get a Candyland down at Cunningham Drug?" And he like, I thought he was really mad, but he was just putting on a show. And so we went down, he took me down the alley to the left, right around the corner on 4th Ave, down to Cunningham's, and we got a Candyland. And I just had one yesterday up at actually the Candyland station. But, you know, so just like fun stuff like that. You know, it was I remember I'm working a lot, being up here all the time, eating pizza all the time. But yeah, it was a lot of work for him to get established. Even though, you know, Pagliai has been here since I think '65, so
okay,
you know, it just kind of change of hands.
So, like, when did you start like actually working here?
In June of 2000.
Okay, how old were you?
It's 14.
14. What'd they have you do?
I did dishes. I came in every once in a while and helped my mom do some prep. Like, she used to do all the spaghetti sauce, all the veggies for the spaghetti sauce. So we'd come in and do that. So I was prepping onions and all that good stuff, you know. And that was fun. I mean, I loved to work as a kid. And then, like, my actual job at nights and stuff was doing dishes and bussing tables. So start from the bottom, go up. But pre that, so that would have been the summer after my 8th grade year is when I started. And I begged to start before that. But they're, you know, they told me, you know, of course, you know, typical, like, you got the rest of your life to work, you know, you don't need to sit there and work your tail off at that early of an age.
So they'd try to slow you down.
Oh yeah, of course, you know, and I'm thankful for it. I wanted to go run around and do, you know, stuff in the summer, go swimming all the time and stuff like that. But I do remember begging them, along with begging them to work. But I can remember I begging my mom to bring me up here to the restaurant, and so I do dishes. So they put flip over glass racks so they could stack me up, so I could sit there and spray the dishes off. So I remember doing that, and of course, you know, I'd run like, I mean, I can just remember throwing a fit about it. And so I'd come up and I'd run like 4 or 5 racks of dishes, and I was like, this is too much work, I'm done. You know, you're over it. So then we'd just go back home. But yeah, it was fun. I've just always wanted to work here. It's fun.
So when did you transition to a role of leadership?
Let's see. That would have probably been, I think I was 19 or 20 when I actually, like, I think I was 20 when I started actually managing.
Did you see yourself, like, when you were a kid, like, someday taking over the family business, or did you think,
yeah.
oh, so I'm going to be...
Absolutely. I could show you. I should have been a little more prepared. I could have brought my scrapbook, and it has, like, from Mrs. Job's class back in, like, 92 or something in my first grade over Bailey Park. It says, I want to be just like my parents. I want to run a restaurant. Like, that's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that a motivating factor from when you, like, started here on, like, you just, like, you were trying to absorb anything, or?
I don't know. I think maybe it's just all I knew and thought it was really fun. You know, like, I think honestly that growing up and seeing that, I thought that'd be the great, you know, you're making pizzas for one. I mean, you gotta love, like I said, you gotta love pizza. So I think that was a big thing. And, you know, you know a lot of people too. you know, well, for one, Grinnell's not that big a town. And you're constantly meeting people. You know, or they, you know, sure it's like you with your family. You know, you see people and they recognize you. You're like, oh, that's definitely a Deeb. You know, like he's you see him at the gas station or something. You know, and so they could say, oh yeah, I know your dad. I went to school with him or whatever. You know, so it's just stuff like that. So it's fun just to, you know, there's no strangers really. I mean, not to say that I don't. Like I said, it's nice with a lot of construction people coming in, you know, that are working on the college or all the wind turbines and stuff, or just people at the college, you know, they're getting people in for certain terms of the year or whatever, so they come in and you meet them that way. Not to say I don't like strangers. I don't want to put that out there, but you know what I mean? It's just fun to kind of halfway recognize everybody.
Yeah. How many managers do you guys even have? Like,
We have three, including myself.
Okay. So, did you just like one day you're like, I'm just going to be a manager, or?
It just kind of happened. We actually had a manager here. Growing up, I worked with Jeff Murphy. He was here for a long time, and then things didn't work out with him, and I was actually gone at school, so I wasn't here when all that went down. But then we got another manager, and what definitely wasn't the style that I was used to. So I really learned a lot off of that, as far as how I like to be treated, and then how I didn't like to be treated. So whether it was he was doing the right thing or the wrong thing, I learned a lot from him. And ultimately, though, I learned a lot from Jeff Murphy. He was a lot of fun to work with as a kid. I spent the most time, and he taught me how to make pizzas. You know, I worked with him the most out of anybody because he was here all the time. So it was a lot of fun working with him. I have a lot of great memories. I mean, I can remember him as a kid. You know, he worked here. I think he came in like 89 or 90 too. So I can remember him my whole life. So I can remember him picking me up over his head. I mean, we had a great relationship. So it was hard when he was gone.
So, what, from his aspect, like what parts of his leadership do you try to emulate today?
Definitely being understanding to people's situations. You know, when people need a night off, we make them get their own substitute, you know, unless they're like have the flu or something, you know, like you're not in any condition to find anybody for yourself. But, and the other thing is too, you know, yeah, it's like my grandpa's always said, you know, you never want to stop working. As far as, not to say that you want to work yourself to death, but you always want to be there and be in the place as much as you can, you know, physically possible. And that's what he did, was sat there and worked with you. And he wouldn't ask you to go do something that he wouldn't do himself or hasn't done. You know, so you had a respect level. That's a big thing.
How much can you describe the transition to ownership?
I mean, being here so much as a kid, I felt like I owned the place. You know what I mean? As far as, not that I would personally was the owner. I mean, it was very deep respect level for what my parents had done and what they were doing. Because my dad was he would come in and kick the tires in the morning and stuff and make sure everything was going right. But as far as nights go, I never really worked with him a whole lot. Like I said, I worked with Murph, or I worked with this other manager. So the transition was that I was kind of the eyes and ears of the place throughout the night, and then I could talk to my dad about that stuff during the day. And the nice thing is that he could relate to it because he had been through all that. But yeah, so the transition part, it was, I felt like as far as, you know, I ran the place and it was theirs, and you had that respect, you know, at the end of the day that it's theirs. It's not mine. I'm not writing the checks. I'm not paying all the bills. but I'm making that money happen, and making that energy happen of being here and making stuff go right.
Okay.
So really, it's kind of it's hard to explain, but that's kind of how my transition was. So everybody's like, oh, actually today, by the way, is June 1st, right? So this is the first day that we took ownership. So we've been in biz for a year, as far as me and my wife, which is pretty exciting. But as far as that goes, yeah, I felt like nothing had changed when I took over ownership.
Oh, wow.
To put it simply.
You didn't feel like you were just...
Nope, it's another day.
Was there any anxiety or anything like before right before you took it on?
Other than my just getting through all that, getting to being an owner, that was really tough. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the only thing I was scared of is all the bills I have to pay. That my debt load is scary.
Did you have to so were you the one? So did you have to transition into paying, writing all the checks and stuff, or were you already doing something kind of
see,
like
Haley,
that?
My wife Haley does a lot of the back end stuff.
Okay.
As far as writing, making sure payroll's ready to go, paying bills and stuff like that, and doing deposits. And I can do deposits and stuff too. But honestly, you get me back there, I understand how everything works. But as far as how everything's organized, I'm lost. So I'd be screwed without her.
Well, that's good. So is it her official job? She's doing the back end stuff, or does she have other stuff going on?
She
outside of being a mom, of course.
Right. No, she pretty much just works here and does this, all the bookwork and stuff. She did work at St. Francis she's a nurse.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a nurse there, and what was it? Once we were kind of leading up to ownership. So mid-May, it's you have to put your resignation in. I'm not handling this well, because that back to how it was transitioned, getting all your licensing and stuff ready is a pain in the butt. I mean, it's a lot of hoops to jump through, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and a lot of time, and you have to sit there and check up on them. So that's pretty tough. And that's on top of doing everything else in here. I mean, because like I said, I'm a hands-on guy, so you gotta, and at that time, we didn't have a lot of extra help to where I could just say, okay, you guys are gonna do this today, I'm gonna do this. It was just all added onto my plate, so it was really stressful. So back to that was pretty damn stressful, actually.
Do you feel that you're past that then, now that you're a year in, or do you have more, or do you still have some lingering things you're taking care
of? As far as licensing and getting everything set up, no, I don't. I've been looking at profit and loss reports for probably four years or so. So making, so I had an idea of how everything, as far as number-wise, worked, and where this came from, and how this was coded and stuff like that. And but my mom's a whiz at that stuff. She's probably way too smart just to be doing back-end stuff like that. So she was a huge help, huge asset to have.
Do you feel like you've stepped back at all in any areas, or are you still just 100% doing what you always did?
No, if you ask Haley, she says I need to slow down and go down a gear, because I keep getting, I get all these ideas pop in my head, and I'm thinking, well, hell, that could generate a lot of business. Why don't I do this? So that's, and I just had 2 emails this morning about a couple projects that I'm working on as far as marketing goes and stuff like that. So it's, I don't know, it's a never ending grind.
Yeah, as far as marketing goes, without giving away too many secrets, but like,
Right.
you know, have you guys really just been changing things, or?
As far as, we've been a lot more involved with the schools. Right now, today, actually just ended a drive we were doing for Davis Elementary for nonfiction books. So we were selling gift cards, and all gift card proceeds from, like, I think it was, what was that? I can't remember the date. But for like 3 months, we're selling gift cards. Can't remember the official start date on that, but we're giving 20% of our gift card sales to Davis School. And then also we had 2 nights, like, where we'd share our profits, and we're sharing 20%. We've never shared that much. And I've actually never seen anybody share that much of their sales with anybody as far as like any other foundation or whatever. So we just got done doing that. So that was huge. So like I said, we've always been involved in doing stuff with the schools. We do $10 cycle toppings for any school related event, whether it's theater or say a counseling group or whatever. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have to be the football team. So we've always been in that regard, and we've done stuff for like PTO night, PTO Connect, and donated like 10% of our sales then. But so in that regard, we've been getting a lot more involved. And as far as other marketing goes, we did have a gal on retainer every month for, it was like 11 months she was on retainer, because we rebranded, and her name was Jen Simons out of Iowa City. Did a really nice job for us, and is done now. We just don't really have any big projects going as far as on that scale. So, but she did get our website going for us, which is really nice. Helped us rebrand everything, and she had a nice eye for that, and was very good help. So.
Yeah, you guys are like, I was looking at your numbers on Facebook, and I was like, it's insane how many people you have following you.
Yeah.
Then you guys just won Best Pizza Place in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit of that story. Like, how did that even come up?
Someone tagged me in it. There's always this. Someone will say, like Casey's, for instance, KCCI is doing best pizza in the state. So someone puts in, Pax Grinnell, and either they tag me personally, hey, check this out, this is cool. So I'm like, hell yeah. So my first post on that was, okay guys, I love releasing the hounds, let them hear it. And I do that on our Facebook. And people love to state their opinion, and people love stating their opinion about pizza too. And we have the most loyal customers, hands down. It goes to show. We're in Little Grinnell, okay? There's so many pizza places out there. In the state, it's crazy. So yeah, that was definitely due to all our loyal customers.
So that was you. So like all you did was just send a message out. And boom.
Oh, trust me, I hustled it a little more than that.
Okay.
So we have like a text marketing deal, like a text club thing. So I sent a text out on that. I put stuff on my personal Facebook page, because it's, you gotta, Facebook's screwy, as you're probably beginning to see, as far as like the algorithm of everything. They don't want you as like a business to be successful on Facebook unless you pay for it, So you have to kind of figure out what works, and what works, honestly, the best is just cool stuff. If you're just posting everyday stuff, you'll get some likes, you'll get some attention from it, but if enough people see it and enough people like it, even because you're getting a less amount of people to see it, if people are liking that, because it's really neat, like your whole project, people like that. So that's why you gain a lot of stuff, is because, and you have less likes too right now. You'll get there. You just have to keep humping it on as far as likes. It's like a never-ending battle with that. But we've had a Facebook page for, I think, like 8 years or something. I mean, so it's taking 8 years to get to that. It seems like a lifetime, you know. But no, then winning that though, that was really exciting. Even though it was like kind of non-official, and they kind of used and abused us in a sense, as far as like restaurants go. Because I mean, what did we get from, you know? We didn't really gain any other than a hell of a lot of exposure.
Yeah, you got.
And I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take that. That's free exposure. I wish they would do that once a month. But yeah, we crushed it. I mean, I can't remember like the statistics on it, but I think we're at like 33% or something. Like we were 10% higher than anybody else.
Oh wow!
Out of like, I think at the end it had like 11,500 votes. So do the math on that. That's a lot of votes ahead of people. So. But no, as far as that social stuff goes, you have to keep just posting stuff. And it's not easy. Like my brother used to run the Pagliai in Johnston. He had a hell of a time getting good content out there because it wasn't really his passion, you know. Now he's detailing cars and has his own detail business. He kills it. He's so creative with it. But you have to be interested in what you're posting. You know, it can't be just like another task you got to do, you know? It's like cleaning the toilets before the end of the night. You're not really excited to do that, you know? But if say you're going to go shut the lights off at the end, that's a task you like to do because you can get the hell out of there, you know? It's like that with your social media. You got to be interested in in your content because people feel that and they see that. And especially if you're doing live stuff, you have to be, you know, excited about it. People are very perceptive to it.
You guys do have a good time doing the social media stuff?
Oh yeah.
When you do it?
At first, you know, the guys were like, hey, I'm gonna go make a little social post, and they're like, kind of like giggling about it. I was like, dude, it is not that easy to come up with content. It's not. Anybody who has done like an actual Facebook page or any social page could vouch for that for sure.
Oh yeah.
And to get it where people will engage it's hard. I mean, sure, I can throw stuff out there all day, but it's hard to, you know, it's hard to come up with that stuff. So then once they kind of realize that, it's like, oh yeah, it's not just like a little fun thing he's going off to do. You know, it's something that is working and needs to be done, and it's not that easy. So they kind of laughed at me at first, but then now they're like, damn, you have like almost 8,000 people on there, and like people are really engaging, and that whatever you do on there really works for you, works for us, and stuff like that.
So speaking of like, you know, kind of the atmosphere and working here and stuff, how does it feel like from when you started as like a 14-year-old kid now to being like an adult, like taking over the leadership role, the dynamics with everyone you work with? How does that, can you explain to me like how that might have changed or how similar it was?
It's kind of hard. I'll say like a lot of lingo at home to Haley, and she just doesn't get it. She's like, you're such a kid, you know, like you're such a big little kid, you know? So working with, because we do have a lot of like full-time people that are, you know, say 18 and older. And then we do have a lot of like high school type help too. So it's a nice dynamic of the young people will keep you young and keep you on your toes and stuff. And but as far as like the feeling, I don't know. I kind of feel like a big kid. I feel like a big 14-year-old man that has a lot more responsibility.
Do you get along with everyone pretty well? Like, I mean, was there ever a difficulty in that transition?
I've been here so long that a lot of people, honestly, when I said, okay, guys, we got to fill out new paperwork June 1st, I'm going to be the owner. And they're like, what? What do you mean you're going to be the owner? You don't own it right now? I'm like, no. You know, so they had no idea. So they thought that that my name was on the sign and that I was here every day, so I just owned it.
So you basically grandfathered yourself into that transition pretty easy.
It's kind of felt like it.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I didn't really feel like I mean, I definitely felt as far as like pressure, just because I have, bills to pay now. But as far as like the responsibility and everything else goes, no, I didn't feel any pressure. I just had to get my licensing done, and your restaurant license, insurance, and liquor license, and get the health inspector in and inspect everything, and yeah, it was good to go. But yeah, that was the nice thing. Like I have a lot of respect for any business owner, but people that have been there for a long time and doing it and starting up, I'm so fortunate that I could work here since I was 14 in my lifetime, to see everything. Think of all that experience where other people go in, it's like sink or swim, where I could walk in and be like, hey, like this is just kind of everyday stuff. It wasn't like, just throw me to the wolves. I had a grasp on everything, which was nice. Very fortunate.
So what time do you come in every morning?
If I don't have anything going on, it's 9:30. Let's see. So I had some AC problems on last Sunday. So I was here from 9:30, and I left at 3:40, and I went and took a shower, and I came back at 4, and then I left at 12:30. That's a day. So what? That'd be like 15 hours, basically.
Oh, 12:30 last night, or
12:30 at night. 12:30 in the morning.
Wow. Is that about how long it takes you guys to kind of close up at the end?
Yeah. Especially, being a holiday weekend, last with Memorial Day, Sunday wasn't Sunday, it was Saturday. So people stayed out later, which was nice, and kind of gave us more to do at the end of the night instead of just clean up.
If you guys have like a day off, you want to go and do something. What do you guys like to do?
Okay, so like this weekend, Wednesday we went to the pool. The Grinnell College pool's open, so we went and hit that up. I got some stuff done at home. I mowed, got some yard work done, kind of typical everyday stuff. Then, let's see, we had Paisley's in T-ball, so we went to a T-ball game Thursday night. Kind of dinked around the house. Thursday during the day, we had a conference for preschool, 3-year-old preschool over at Fairview. So we went and did that with Miss Jan and her crew over there. And pretty much what we like to do, if there's ever any community events, like we missed last night, first night of Music in the Park. That's a great thing to go do. Especially after the sun started going down. It was a beautiful night. We kind of regretted not being able to go to that, but with T-ball and everything, and then you got to get dinner and stuff, and Paisley might get a little grumpy, and so it just really wasn't worth it that night. But so kind of stuff like that. If we can ever go out to eat, so sometimes you want a break from slaving away. Even though I love to cook at home too, and Haley does too. Whether it's trying a new recipe or just grilling out.
What do you guys like to cook? Like, have you guys ever made pizza at home?
No. Honestly though, there's times where I'll crave pizza at home, and I'll take a frozen pizza home and cook it. I mean, I'd tell you I could eat it every day. And I've actually ate it for all courses, because I shouldn't broadcast this, but I did have a Casey's breakfast pizza. I mean, that's not that bad, But, So one day I had Casey's breakfast pizza, right? And then we had a lunch order here, so I ate pizza for lunch, and then I just kind of forgot I ate pizza for lunch, and I ate pizza for dinner. So I've had it for 3 courses before.
Just living and breathing pizza.
That's pretty much, yeah. Yep. But that's really what we like to do. If there's any community events, we try to get out to those. That's always fun. Like this winter, we went to a few, when the girls' basketball team was really kicking ass, we went to that. We went and supported them as much as we could. You know, my schedule's goofy, so it's hard to get to some sporting events, but I took a couple Tuesday nights off because I get off early on Tuesdays anyway. And we went to a couple of those, and then of course went to the state game. And it was fun. Going to sporting events is really fun. And it's fun now knowing like customers that have kids, you know, people you get to know through the restaurant are just in the community anyway. And then they have kids that are playing in the sports, you know. So kind of seeing that is really fun. Or you have kids that work here and that are in activities and stuff. So it's cool to support them because it's cool to see them outside of this element in their own. So I like that.
Okay. So what kind of advice would you have for like someone who's thinking about taking on like a restaurant position? Like maybe buying their own restaurant or maybe even just taking over a management position?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, there's nothing more respectable about, like I said earlier, is having somebody as a leader or manager, to have someone that is capable of doing the person that you're managing's job, you know, so your employee's job. Make sure you can do everything and make sure that you are capable of doing everything. And, you know, honestly, you're going to have to be willing to do that too, because not everybody can show up sometimes, and you're going to have to lend a helping hand. So really, just being capable and disciplined enough to be able to do that stuff, because not everybody does that. And but you're gonna have to, as far as opening like a restaurant or being a manager, you're gonna have to work as hard as them guys, and then you're gonna have to be a step up above that. At least that's in my eyes. That's what's worked for me, and I've seen work. So that'd be my best advice. Just be ready to put your work pants on.
All right.
Really.
What kind of impact do you feel that you make on the community?
Really? That's not too hard. Probably one of the coolest parts of my job, again, is working with like younger people. And so I never get old except for losing my hair or getting a few wrinkles. So working with kids, especially, you know, you don't want to sound like an old grandpa, but times do change. You know, I graduated in 2004, and as far as like the work crew goes, the work crew has changed big time. Kids have 10 times as more activities. And I think they're great because it keeps them out of trouble and keeps them doing stuff. And I think sports are great too, or other sort of activities are great. There's more opportunity for kids. But I also think going to work and being accountable there's nothing really like that. So working with younger kids, especially when it's like their first job, or maybe they have gone out and had another job, so they kind of know the ropes. But then bringing them in and showing them the way that I do things, or that our crew does things, having respect for them, having a safe work environment for people, showing them good work ethic, and that people do care about you, you know, as far as a work environment is. So it's pretty fun. It's one of my, and you know, showing them a work ethic. Some kids come in here, they've never even heard the word mop, except for like a flashcard, you know, at school or something. You know what I mean? Like they have no idea. So showing them how to sweep and mop and use their elbows and get some elbow grease in there, you know, it's gratifying. The other thing we can do too is providing a nice place to come. You know, it's like I've had people tell me like, thanks for keeping Grinnell, you know, the vitality of Grinnell, you know, like restaurants draw people in. I was just talking about this with like Jim Beckman the other day. He said, good for you for winning that award. That'll bring people to Grinnell. I said, oh yeah, I hope so. And that's what our article said in the Register is, it's not a win for just PAGs. It's a win for Grinnell. Bring people in, whether they have a wait outside or maybe they come in a little early and they just scoop the loop. Look at all the businesses downtown or other other restaurants and us, and just like gift shops, what have you. So it just brings people in. So that's really cool. And we've been here a long time, so a lot of people know about us, have a good reputation and stuff, so that does bring people in. So that's kind of like one of the bigger contributions as far as that goes.
What is it that you love about Grinnell?
Man, there's always something to do. Whether you kind of have to look for it sometimes because stuff might not be broadcasted or advertised enough, but there's always something to do. It's a really safe town. Like I said, there's familiar faces everywhere. But yeah, and like I said, you can get anywhere in like 5 minutes, which is great. Except for right now with all the road construction, which I'm thankful for, but it's tough to get like a straight shot anywhere. But no, Grinnell's, I don't know. I could go on and on, but you can get places quick. It's safe. I feel like people are more accountable because they know they're going to see you again. So if you do have an issue with someone, you can either smooth it out, or it's not like a big city where you can just go run and hide you're going to run into these people. So you got to be nice and like accountable for your actions, So I think that people are just damn nice here and I like it.
All right. That's perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sitting down on this interview with me.
Oh yeah, you bet.
All right. Is there anything else you just kind of want to do, like a shout out or something like that? Like come to Pagliai or something like that?
Not really. Not really. That's all I got.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know Joey as much as I did. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so then you'll see every time we come up with a new interview. Next up, we're going to have Bridget Brandt. So please hit that up. She's a former middle school history teacher. Something that means a lot to a lot of people, so she's a lot of fun to get to know. If you guys really want to help out for free, please share this video with your friends. Hit like down below. Give us a comment in the comments down below. Let us know, what is your favorite kind of pizza at Pagliai's? Or give us a personal Pagliai story that made you feel good. Again, follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Spread the word, share us out with people, and let everybody know how much you're enjoying the stuff. Comment, interact, go to our Google form, let us know who you want to see interviewed. Thank you guys so much. And again, a huge thank you to Pagliai's for letting us film at their location and letting us interview with Joey and learn a little bit more about everything. So again, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day.